All right, it's Kyle T. Mosley of HBCU Legends on Sports Illustrated's Fan Nation. I got my guys with me from the urban sports scene. Ray Rogers and what's going on? And Wole, what's happening, man?
What's going on?
Hey,
Right.
what's happening, brother?
Look,
It's that time of the year.
West side meeting the east side. Yeah, man. Well, I'm holding it down over the West. You guys are doing your deal over at the MEAC right now. Talk about what's happening today with the semifinal action, what happened earlier, and what happened, what's going to be happening later on tonight.
I'll start. So we just witnessed the Howard Bison punch their ticket to their fourth straight MEAC tournament championship, and they're going to face the Norfolk State Spartans for the third consecutive year. They split the last 2 seasons, so it's a whole lot of intrigue on the women's side. And it's amazing for Howard. I want to give a shout out to their coach, Coach Ty Grace. To lose your best player, one of the best players in college basketball, and Destiny Howe, and to still reach this final is amazing. Of course, we know what Norfolk has. They have Diamond Johnson and Kiara Wheeler, two of the best players in the country. If you remember, Kyle, last year after South Carolina eliminated Norfolk, Dawn Staley went in their locker room, and she said Kiara Wheeler is an amazing player, and that Norfolk State at the time wasn't a 16 seed. So you know the stakes that's at hand. MEAC tournament is just amazing, and I'm so proud of these women's teams that are representing for us.
Yeah,
The young ladies are balling, man, Wale.
yeah, they're doing it. Like Ray mentioned, Howard did a phenomenal job. Coach Grace has had a phenomenal season. And on the flip side of Norfolk State, today they dominated the opponent in Coppin State. Diamond Johnson was amazing. She scored 30 points, had 11 rebounds. And Kyle, have you seen this young lady? She's only about a good 5, maybe 5'5", 5'6", and had 11 boards. Who led the whole game in rebounding. She's MEAC Player of the Year. Norfolk and Howard is going to be a great matchup. We're talking about a trilogy. This is pretty much the tiebreaker out of the last 3 games, last 3 MEAC championship games. So yeah, we're in for a historic, monumental MEAC championship in the women's side. On the women's side.
Well, look, that's great, man. We got to have the intrigue there, man. And look, the women have been doing their due in college basketball all the past couple of seasons, and it looks like it's going to be a great setup for the MEAC going into the 2024 finals tomorrow, correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
The championship is tomorrow, and you know what? As I talk to you, I think about how Jackson State is so dominant on the SWAC side of things. It would be nice to have these teams play either Norfolk State or Howard match up against Jackson State in the future. We don't see it enough.
Yeah, that would be good to have. I think there was some talk about having a HBCU national championship game. So,
yeah,
but you know, all these teams trying to vie for the NCAA, and once they get in, you know, unfortunately, a couple of times they've been one and done. Other than Jackson State a couple seasons ago, they won their first one and they went on to lose the second. All right, let's talk about what's happening with the men. They got Howard Bison again. And they got a hot one against the Spartans, man, and that's going to happen, and it should be happening right now for you guys, right?
Pretty soon. So 6 p.m. Eastern time, that game is coming up, and there's some intrigue around that too. Again, you got Howard versus Norfolk, which they're no strangers to each other. They met in the MEAC tournament championship final last year, and this season, the storyline for me at least is Bryce Harris from Howard. Many thought he should have been MEAC Player of the Year, but it went to Jamari Thomas from Norfolk State, who replaced the great Joe Bryan Jr., which is amazing to see him come out. I believe he's averaging around 17 points a game, led the conference in scoring. However, Bryce Harris showed last night with 28 points, 9 boards, 6 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals that he fills the stat sheet. He's motivated, and I think he's going to lead the Bison in this game against Norfolk State. I'm going with Howard tonight, but anything can happen.
Oh, man. All right, Ray got the upset. Wale, what you think?
Yeah. I'm a little different from Ray. Look at this color. Yeah, these are Nigerian colors. But anyway, that's a fact. I hear you, that's a fact. But this game is it's definitely going to be tough because, again, you have 2 teams that are very familiar with each other. And both teams have their own motivational factors, right? Howard lost to Norfolk State twice this season already. Norfolk State it has a motivational factor in terms of what happened last year, them losing on this court in the championship game. So I feel like, both there's a bunch of storylines going into this game. Ray mentioned you have Bryce Harris, who arguably could have been Player of the Year in the MEAC, but then you have on the other side you have Jamari Thomas, who had a poor game in his first game. Coach Jones, Norfolk State coach, said that Jamari was pressing, so he expects Jamari to play better today against Howard. So I do think that you're going to have two high-power teams playing against each other, two defensive teams playing against each other. But, I would have to give the edge to Norfolk State because they've been the more consistent team this season. And in terms of body of work outside of conference, in conference, they have been the best team in the MEAC.
All right, look, we got the guys splitting on this one. And let's go to the final one, which is kind of surprising because Delaware State pulled off the upset last night. And they're going against the Eagles of North Carolina Central. Talk about that one, guys.
We're split on this one too. Yeah. So we did a MEAC tournament preview show, and his sleeper was Delaware State. My sleeper was North Carolina Central in terms of who might win it that no one's expecting. Of course, Lavelle Moulton is an amazing coach, awesome. World-renowned coach. So I don't know if North Carolina Central is a sleeper per se, but most expect Norfolk State to win, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. And then Howard's defending champion. So I went with them. Fred Cleveland Jr., he is about my height, 5'10", 5'11" on a good day, but he's a flat-out scorer. If there's one person that, for North Carolina Central that many thought could be MEAC Player of the Year, it was Fred Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Fred Cleveland last season got in foul trouble when North Carolina Central met Norfolk in the semifinals. This year, they expect to have him on the court, locked and loaded. And I think that Delaware State, while they've had a good run, I just don't think they can match the physicality of North Carolina Central.
No, interesting. Wale, what's your final thoughts, man?
I'm like Ray said, we're different. I'm going with Del State in this. Just I feel like they have all the momentum. They're a guard heavy team. They have 3 guards who can fill it up. Last night you talked about the upset with South Carolina State, but that was all predicated on DeWick Tavares, who had an amazing game. In the first half, the whole team struggled. He struggled as well, but in the second half, he turned it on. He had 5 steals and set the tone defensively in that game for Delaware State. So, and they didn't play their best game. Their best player was in foul trouble for most of the first half in Martez Robinson. So I feel like they'll shake off the nerves, have a better game against North Carolina Central, because one thing about Delaware State is that they can score the basketball, and that's something that Central does at times. Is like they can go in the lows where they don't score. You can't have lows against a Delaware State team who can fill it up. But I do think, obviously, like Ray said, Central has that moxie. They have that experience. They have one of the best coaches in the MEAC in Moulton. So I think that does give them an edge. But I feel like Waterman and his crew in Delaware State, I think they have a good opportunity to shock the world and maybe make it to the MEAC finals.
All right. Got a lot of intrigue, compelling stories, and what's going to happen in the MEAC on the women's side and the men's side. So, guys, I look forward to seeing what your recap is going to be later on tonight and previewing what will happen in the championship matchups. All right, guys, tell everyone how they can be able to follow you guys on the World Wide Web.
First off, you can find this at www.urbansportscene.com. Also on YouTube, just search the Urban Sports Scene. All your social media platforms, just search the Urban Sports Scene. We're there. We're not hard to find.
Yeah. And how can you find you personally?
On X, I can't call it Twitter anymore. On X, at.
Yeah, I can't say X, man. I'm just gonna say I'm still saying Twitter. Your mama call you Twitter, I'm gonna call you Twitter.
I like that one. No, right? On Twitter then. On Twitter. At Wole, that's WOLE_USS. That's at Wole_USS. And then on IG, that's at Waleo32. That's WALEO32. I know I changed it up. WALEO32.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Urban Sports _Ray. You can check me out on IG at Urban Sports Ray. And if you're 65 and over and you use Facebook, you can follow me. Terrell Rogers is my name on Facebook, but I don't really post on Facebook, to be honest. Check out the Urban Sports Facebook page though. That's
Get
pretty
this
cool.
Gray out the way.
I'm not giving y'all my Facebook. Y'all gotta know me.
All right, man. Well, look, please follow these guys and support what they're doing at the urban sports scene. That's Ray Rogers and Wole, great guys, and that's my East Coast connection. Thank you guys for holding it down and bringing us what's happening over at the MEAC. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. We out, baby. Take care.